Albion have discovered and helped prove there are very few easy games in the Premier League. Now they wait to see whether the status quo is maintained in terms of television payments when top men from the 20 top-flight clubs get together. Chairman Tony Bloom and Chief Executive Paul Barber travel to Harrogate today, ready for their second Premier League annual meeting tomorrow. They look forward to discussions about Barber's proposal regarding sitting and standing in away sections. It is a sensitive matter and one that will be discussed with careful choice of words. But two other big issues will crop up: the share of TV money and thoughts on the future of VAR. Liverpool owner John W. Henry has made it clear why he feels bigger, more famous clubs of the Premier League deserve a greater cut of the money raised through the sale of TV rights overseas. Each club currently receives £40.8 million per year from the international markets. That represented a major chunk of the £108 million Albion received last season. Henry feels the system is unfair. He said, "Everyone in the league knows what the large clubs bring to the value of foreign rights, but the large clubs do not have the votes to change something that should have changed as media rights changed over the past 25 years. The vote is confidential and there is no indication as to which way Albion will go. It might appear foolhardy at best were they to vote in favor of changing the current system. Such a reweighting of the overseas money would have a significant impact on clubs in the lower half of the table and even more so on parachute payments." But if Bloom sees Albion as a top-half team for the coming years, he could take the sort of bold yet calculated step which has characterized his tenure and vote for change. Henry advocates an even share of 65% of the overseas income, with the other 35% being awarded to clubs on merit. 14 clubs must vote in favor for the change to happen. It was thought last season's 20 clubs were split down the middle. Had Henry's preferred structure been in place for 2017-18, 15th-placed Albion would have been £6 million worse off. The top 11 would have been better off to varying degrees. Clubs who want things to stay as they are will point to the competitive nature of the Premier League all the way down the table. That adds to the league's worldwide appeal for the obvious reason that it helps provide more captivating matches. The competitive nature of the league can also help clubs attract crowds which look good on TV. And the money allows signings of players who might attract an audience in a particular country, an example being the exposure Jose Izquierdo's wonder goals for Albion have received in Colombia. The Seagulls did their bit to serve up enthralling small-screen entertainment against big guns, notably at home to Arsenal, Tottenham and Manchester United. They weren't the only ones. The flip side of reduced money for the lesser lights could be a greater chance of success for top Premier League clubs in the Champions League. Bigger clubs want more opportunity to rotate and rest players in domestic league games. As it stands, they face battles most weeks, and an intense 6-4 race to even get into the Champions League. These are changing times in terms of TV deals when looking further afield. France, with the arrival on the scene of Spanish company MediaPro and the squeezing out of the more established Canal+, has joined the big players thanks to new deals struck last week in what is being termed across the channel as the Big Bang. But overseas rights keep the Premier League way ahead of the closely bunched Bundesliga, Ligue 1, La Liga and Serie A in the financial standings. Whether the current structure here changes remains to be seen. But the Prem powerhouses will target mid-ranking clubs who fancy themselves as potential top-half regulars as they canvass for votes. Swansea and Stoke, who strongly oppose Liverpool's planned changes, are no longer involved in the vote. And then there is VAR. Albion fans got a very early glimpse of the system in the FA Cup tie against Crystal Palace when goals were quickly and efficiently double-checked before being allowed to stand. Although all goals are verified, the one which needed a bit of extra scrutiny saw Glenn Murray's late winner confirmed while Place claimed handball. Other instances of video referral have gone less smoothly. Premier League clubs have already voted to continue testing next season rather than bringing in a VAR system. The World Cup will offer a great chance to see how the system works, not least when referees from different countries and with varying interpretations get involved. Quite apart from the decisions being made, finding a way of telling fans in the stadium exactly what is going on remains an issue for Premier League clubs to discuss. And then comes the proposal floated by Barber, that all seater restrictions are enforced more stringently in front rows of away sections. Discussing the issue resembles walking on eggshells, given that 100% of fans should remain seated. In practice, the vast majority of away fans stand for 90 minutes and are allowed to get away with it. That can lead to complaints from some fans. Barber wants clubs to find a way around such a conundrum, and his ideas will be discussed in Yorkshire tomorrow.